Is Councilman Jones, who will present a resolution recognizing what I call as my hero as it relates to the knowledge of sports, Ray Didinger. With Mr. Didinger and those accompanying him, please join the councilman at the podium. Please come up. And joining Councilman Jones, we have Councilman Greenlee, Councilman Green, Councilman Johnson, Councilwoman Reynolds Brown. Okay. And Councilman Taubenberger.
You see it, right?
And Councilwoman Parker.
Could I, although we have certain presenters, could I ask all members of council to join us up here, even if you do not have a written part at this point, but come on up anyway, because we don't know the next time we may be on the precipice of winning a Super Bowl. So I want us to memorialize this with all members. Don't you? Okay. All right. Come on up. So come on up. And I thank my colleagues for joining me. So there are many things that qualify you as a Philadelphian. There's cheesesteaks, there's water ice, there's soft pretzels, there's playing in the fire plugs during the summer. Piccadilly. But there's also, what? See, there I go, trusting my members, right? But there's also Ray Didinger. And not to be confused with Big Ray, who was his grandfather, or Little Ray, his father, who was bigger than the grandfather, or Young Ray, who he was called growing up in a bar in Southwest Philadelphia. But we're talking about Ray the Philadelphian, who has bled with us in our wins, cried with us in our losses, but managed never, ever, ever to lie to us about the level of proficiency of our sports teams. So therefore, it is truly an honor to recognize a Philadelphian today. He is an author. He's a sportsman. He is a person who never lies. He doesn't lie. He won't tell you everything he may know about the running back situation or the cornerbacks, but he will never lie, and therefore it brings us comfort. It brings us encouragement when we're about to win. It brings us comfort if we ever lose, and he is a consistent sports voice in Philadelphia, and so therefore we are here to honor Ray Didinger for his recognizing and honoring Ray Didinger for being inducted into the Broadcast Pioneers Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Whereas Ray Didinger, a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, is a prominent sports writer and commentator and a resident of the East Falls neighborhood of Philadelphia. Yeah, the 4th Councilmanic District. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And whereas Didinger is a 1968 graduate of Temple University and a member of the Temple University School of Communications Hall of Fame. He wrote for the Philadelphia Bulletin and the Daily News for more than 30 years.
Whereas Ray Didinger was named Pennsylvania's Sports Writer of the Year 5 times by the National Sports Writers and Sportscasters Association. In 1995, he won the Dick McCann Award for his long and distinguished career of pro football, and his name was added to the Writers' Honor Roll in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Ray Didinger's work also earned him 6 Emmy Awards as a producer and writer with NFL films, and
whereas Didinger is the author of 11 books, including 3 bestsellers, The New Eagles Encyclopedia, One Last Read, and the Ultimate Book of Sports Movies. In 2016, Didinger wrote his first play, Tommy and Me. The play was performed locally by Theater Exile. And
Whereas Didinger is the first print journalist inducted into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, he is a host on 94 WIP, all sports radio in Philadelphia, and he is a football analyst on NBC Sports Philadelphia, Eagles pre-game live and post-game live shows. And
whereas in 2017, Ray Didinger famed career was further memorialized when he was inducted into the Broadcasters Pioneers Hall of Fame. And that was reported on by WIP Angelo Cataldi this morning, and now therefore be it.
Resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia that it hereby recognizes and honors Ray Didinger for being inducted into the Broadcast Pioneers Hall of Fame. Further resolved that an engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to Ray Didinger as evidence of the sincere appreciation and admiration of this legislative body.
That's it.
Congratulations.
And the chair recognizes Mr. Didinger for remarks.
You know, that's a good look for you. Councilman Jones, I like that. Well, I think this kind of tells the story of what this season's been about and what yet remains to be done. I think you're going to see quite a few of these in Minneapolis in 2 weeks. You know, I've worked in the media for almost half a century. And over the years, many of my colleagues have said, wouldn't you rather be in news? I mean, all you do is just cover games, as if somehow that's not meaningful or important. Well, after seeing what we saw Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field, and later in the streets of our fair city, I defy you to say what we're witnessing with the Eagles is just a game. Clearly, it's much more than that. If all you see are numbers on a scoreboard, then you're missing the point. And what is the true essence and beauty of sports? That is its ability to lift us up and bring us together. In a world where so many things divide us, where we are disconnected physically and emotionally, there's something magical in seeing thousands of Eagles fans, young and old, rich and poor, black and white, all with their faces painted green, standing arm in arm and singing "Fly, Eagles, Fly." The thing I've always loved about sports is the teamwork. And when that teamwork extends to an entire city or an entire region, as we're seeing now, it's a wondrous thing that allows us all to stand a little taller and closer together. The Irish philosopher Francis Hutchinson once said, "That action is best which procures the greatest happiness for the greatest numbers." He said that centuries ago, but he might have said it Sunday night hanging from the top of a traffic light right out there on Broad Street. I was still new to the newspaper business in 1974 when, as a reporter for the Philadelphia Bulletin, I covered the Flyers' first Stanley Cup parade. I rode in the parade sitting next to Joe Watson Sr., the father of Joe and Jimmy Watson. He was a butcher from Smithers, British Columbia, population 300. And he came to Philadelphia to see his sons win the Stanley Cup. As he rode through the streets, gazing out at 2 million cheering fans, he said, "I didn't know there were this many people in the world." I'll always remember that moment, that emotion that made a humble butcher from British Columbia and the people of Philadelphia feel as one. To me, that's meaningful. To me, that is important. And that's why, after all these years, I still love my job, covering games. I want to thank you, Councilman Jones, for this wonderful honor to stand here in this historic chamber and accept this proclamation is something very special indeed. Thank you all very much, and I hope to see you back here in 2 weeks for a Super Bowl parade.
All right.
Dilly.
Thank you. Council.
So, for all true Eagles fan, we've purchased the new Eagles Encyclopedia, so you can know half as much as Ray Didinger knows. Mr. President.
Thank you, sir.
So, we'll take pictures.